G'day, it's Rusty from Rusty's Metal Cut Signs and Designs, and in today's video we're going to be cutting a fire pit, and this is the third generation of fire pits that I've cut. And if you check out my twin brother Rusty's Outback Adventures channel, and I'll put a link in the comments below, you'll see that he had one of my fire pits away on a recent camping and prospecting trip. Now that one was a smaller one, and while they were away they had a tweak in it and they decided they wanted something bigger. Well, we made that bigger one, and now I've had a customer come to me and say, I like the fire pit, but I want it bigger. So we've now designed a third generation larger fire pit, and it's 600 long, it's 500 wide at the top, and it stands 300 high. Now this fire pit is a 6-piece collapsible, so you've got your 2 sides, 2 ends, we've got a grate in the bottom, and a grill that fits over the top, and the grill covers about just over half of its length. And on the table today we've got a piece of 4mm mild steel plate, and we're going to cut it out of 4mm because the smaller one at 3 looked pretty good, but we just feel the bigger one might get a little bit distorted. I know it's going to be a bit heavier, but we're going to go with the 4mm. And I'll just take you over on the computer and I'll show you the design that we're going to be cutting today. Now this is the design for the end plate. It's got a cutout for a little flame, just gives a light through the end and also gives a bit of air in the end. These are the slots for the tangs on the sides to fit in, and this measures 500 by 306. So there'll be 2 of these the same, and I'll just show you now what the sides look like. Now this is the side. Now one side has got these slots in the bottom, and the other side plate has got a finger that actually goes in those slots, so they lock it in. And we have a row of holes which will be air holes above the grate that fits in here, and this is a row of air holes below the grate. And you'll see across the top this little castellated section that locks into the grill, and I'll show you that. Alright, now this is the other side, and it's only got one little finger on each side, and it has this little piece on the bottom that fits into the slot on the other side. The air holes are the same, and the castellated top section is the same, and it's what locates the grill. This is the grate, and the grate is 580 long, 150 wide, and it's got a series of slots in it. And as I showed you on the side, this fits in between those 2 rows of air holes. And this is the grill, and you saw on the 2 sides had that castellated top. Well, those little peaks will fit in these slots, so I've missed every second one, and so that'll fit across it. And this is an area you can put a frying pan on, you can put a kettle, maybe not so much cooking food on it, but using it to put a kettle or a fry pan or a camp oven or something. So that's the 6 pieces. So I'll just bring the first one into the software that we're going to be using, and this is the MyPlasm software that I use to run the plasma table. And I've brought this is the end plate, and it's size 500 by 306, and these little dots and lead-ins, that tells me where it's going to start the cut from. It'll cut each of those in turn, does all the internal cuts first, and then it goes around the outside and cuts out. And I've got to cut 2, so I'll just cut 1 to start with and just confirm the sizing, and then we'll go and cut the rest. And these are my settings for this first end plate, 1600 millimeters a minute. The second cut, which is the slowest speed for a hole. Cut height is set to 0 because that's the clearance I'm using on the torch. And I've got it set here at 38 amps on the cutter. And we'll hit the start button and away we go. And there's the first end plate cut out. I can grab that. So, look at that. Now there's the end plate. And we'll get on and cut all the others out, and I'll show you how it looks when it all goes together. So these are the two side plates. As you can see, this one here has got the little cutout, and this other side has got the little finger that goes in it. So I'll just lift those out of the table. I've got to put a new sheet on to cut the last little piece out, and we'll get it cleaned up. Okay, so the last piece to cut is this grate that fits on the top, and it's 585 by 345, and settings haven't changed. So I've lined it all up. I told the torch where it is in this bottom right hand corner over here. So that's where the torch is. So yeah, just a matter now of hit the start button and last cut. And there are all the 6 pieces cut now, your 2 end plates and the 2 side plates, and this is the grill plate that fits on top, and that's the grate that goes in the bottom. So I'll get them on the bench, and I'll give them a clean up, and I'll show you how it looks all assembled. So now that the 6 pieces of the fire pit are cleaned, ready to go, I'm just going to show you how to put it together. It's actually quite easy. As I said, one side's got the 2 fingers on it, and it's got the slot for the finger on the other side. So you take the end plate that's got the 2 slots on it, and it's just a matter of putting that in there, dropping it in. Do the same on this side. So you just drop that in there. Now this second plate has these 2 little fingers, I guess, and I only got the 1 slot on the side to go in here, so it's and the finger slot in the bottom. And then the fire grate sits in between these 2 rows of holes. What I've made is these 2 long skewers, and what they do, I'll just turn this around for you. Sorry about the noise. You see on the end, just so happens that these 2 holes here happen to be the perfect height to rest the grate on. So I've made these skewers, pegs, and if I put them, without dropping it, through here and out the other side, and it's got a little T on the end to stop it falling out, do the same on this side. Gives the fire grate something to rest on. So I'll just bring the camera over and just show you how that fits. And these are the 2 skewers, I guess you call them. They're 10mm mild steel. And then if I can do this one-handed, the grate lays in there, can't go anywhere, and it's firmly held by those 2 pegs. I guess in another version I might put them crossways under here, put them through here underneath, but at the moment they just happen to work out perfectly. And the last thing to do is to put the grate on the top. As I mentioned earlier, these pegs line up with these slots in the grill. So when I put it on there, they basically lock into these slots. So the other side, this can't fall off. So basically it can move a tiny bit, but it's not going to fall off, and this can be positioned anywhere along the length of the side, and the customer wanted it sort of just cover half of the actual fire area, so it can still be able to put a bit of wood in if you wanted to, and you can cook on the top. So that's the fire pit. That's the big one. I don't know, we'll have to think of a name for this one now. It's quite a big pit, and yeah, I'm pretty sure the customer's going to be pleased with that. He wanted a bigger one than the middle-sized one. All he's got to do now is take it with him and get a fire happening in it. Well, I'm really pleased with the way the fire pit came out. I said this is now our largest version we've made, so we've got now 3 sizes. It's a little bit of design that went into working out these little pegs to line up with the slots in the grill, and a bit of my high school maths came back to haunt me, so it's a good thing. Yeah, so if you like the video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, subscribe button is down here. If you'd like to see the video series of how I made the plasma table, I'll put a link up here to the playlist. Now if you have any queries or questions, please put them in the comments below, I'll certainly get to them. If you'd like to get in touch because you're looking for a fire pit, please do so, I'm happy to help you out. Alright, so that's it for this video, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.